Hey there, beautiful women. Welcome, welcome. Just watching all of you trickle in here today. Seeing who's there for now. Who do we have? Susanna from the countryside, somewhere in Germany. Linnea from London. Anneke from Iceland in the Netherlands. Natalie from Las Vegas. Daniela from Maasdam, the Netherlands. I am today tuning in from beautiful Slovenia. I'm right now in the capital city, Ljubljana. And we just came back today for a day from the mountains to be here. Clement had a session here, and so I could be here with stable Wi-Fi for you girls. And tonight we're heading back into the mountains, which I'm really looking forward to. We have Mia back in business from Stockholm, Genevieve from Amsterdam, Anya from Nelson, Canada. And she says the video doesn't work. Girls, I would love to hear for a second. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I live here with you? Just let me know in the chat if my audio and my video are coming through properly. Mia says, I see you, and I assume you hear me as well. Danielle says, for me, it's perfect. Awesome, great. Great, so then I am going to just assume that we are properly connected. Barbara tuning in from Ibiza. Anna tuning in from the Netherlands. Other Leonie can see and hear me. Beautiful. I'm assuming you are in Berlin. So, gorgeous women. Yeah, so I'm wearing close to nothing because it is so hot right here. I don't know how it is for you girls. It's supposed to be just 30 degrees, which isn't so bad, but it's moist and there's like this thickness in the air here. So I'm just gonna sweat all over this video and be with you here and be here connected. I'm really excited for today. Today we're gonna roll through basically just to see what have we actually done, what have we covered in the last 6 weeks. I'm not going to do like a summary or anything, but we're just going to go through some questions that are going to make you realize the progress you've actually had since you've started. So it's like a little celebration that we're doing. We're also going to do a little embodiment exercise. I was first thinking of really doing some like real movement, but because it's so hot here, I'm probably going to go more for like a meditation. And I also have a beautiful visualization plan, which was written by my beloved. He's very good with visualizations. Then I'm going to give you girls a very exciting update, which some of you, don't spoil it, don't go writing it in the chat yet, might have heard in our last session. If not, definitely stay tuned. I'll share that. And then right after, we're going to hit Q&A. So I have a bunch of questions already written down from women who couldn't make it today, who would love for me to answer some of their questions. And for all of you women, the questions that you have for me, I would love it if you could just save them for now, unless you need to leave and you like need to post them right now. Otherwise, save them for later, and I'm going to answer them all during our massive Q&A session today. Okay, let me just shut off my email here so that doesn't making noise in the background for us. Perfect. So, oh, and regarding the questions that I'm gonna answer, I would want them to be mostly about the content that we've covered in module 1 until module 6, and something that is applicable for everybody in this course. So, but then again, if it's a specific question for you, you can also ask it, but I'll just tune into and see which questions will be powerful to answer here in the group. Otherwise, I'll leave it for the Facebook group. So, gorgeous women, with that, I'm going to ask you to just get comfortable for a second. You can keep your eyes open, and wherever you are, if you're on your phone, see if you can somehow put it down. And either on your chair or on the floor in front of your computer or your phone, get comfortable. So find a way of sitting that in which you can still kind of move. Just start taking with your eyes open. Start taking a few deep breaths. And on your exhale, I'm going to ask you to really tune into whatever sound is alive in you right now and let that out, whatever that might be. So, doesn't need to be overly loud, just gentle. And if you haven't already, you can close your eyes now on your next exhale. And just settle into your body a little bit. So feel the weight underneath your bum. It's how your body is pressing into whatever surface you're currently sitting on. So whether it's a chair or the floor beneath you, just feel your body being pulled into it by the gravity. And then still with your eyes closed, and ask you to just see which parts of your body want to move right now. And see if you can somehow comfortably move yourself in the position that you're in. So you can see if you want to maybe roll your shoulders. You can do that. And bring your arms up along the side above your head. And just stretch on each side of your body that feel comfortable, feel called to stretch. And without guidance, I'm going to ask you to just free flow, stretch your body a little bit and see which parts of your body really need that. And as you're doing that, as you're free flow stretching, see if you can still continue making those sounds on your exhale. Can you even stretch out your face? And just seeing whatever feeling, intention, and sounds are in your body that are you willing to let go. And then gently see if you can find a place of stillness for yourself inside your body. While keeping your eyes closed, I'm going to ask you to notice just how your body feels right now. So without trying to change anything, just observing whatever is present for you in your body. Continue taking some deep breaths, and as you're breathing in, allow the oxygen to flow into those body parts that feel called, that you feel deserve some attention right now. You can do a quick body scan from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. So I'm going to guide you through that. And just feel the top of your head is covered by your hair. Try to feel your face. Perhaps you feel heat, some tingling. Then go down into your neck. Just a broad overall view of what you feel there. With no need to describe. Going down into your right shoulder, right upper arm, right lower arm, your right hand. And pouring into your left shoulder, left upper arm, left lower arm, your left hand. Don't forget to breathe. Scanning your chest and your breasts. And just feel your breasts for a moment. Just notice how they feel, whether they feel light or heavy, warm, cold. And breathe into your breasts a few times. Just being aware of that space. Going down into your belly. Feeling whatever is present in your belly. Breathing into that area. And sinking down into your womb. And if you have difficulty sensing your womb, just imagining that area and visualizing that. And breathing into it. Seeing whatever sound comes up from there. Letting go of that area and sensing your shoulders and your back, your upper back. Just gliding over that area. Seeing if there's any tension you can let go of. Going into your lower back. Breathing into it. Now feeling your bum and the weight with which it's pressing into the sofa or the chair, the floor you're sitting on. And becoming aware of your right leg, so your upper leg, your knee, and your right lower leg. And going down into your right foot. And once again, if you have struggle really feeling those areas, just visualize them and imagine going over them. Going into your left upper leg, your left knee, your left lower leg, and your left foot. And as you're sitting there now, you can just keep your eyes closed for a second. And just remember the moment that you signed up for the Abundant Passionpreneur program. So just feeling, looking at yourself, standing at the beginning of your journey. And just notice how you felt when you were about to go into that experience. You still feel whatever you feel at that moment, the excitement, maybe some hesitation of going fully for your dreams. Now for a second, I want you to let go of that, and I want you to move forward in time. So to travel into, right now, I'm going to ask you to travel into your manifested future. So you're there right now. You've made your dreams a reality. That's the space you're standing in right now. So you're earning the amounts of money you didn't even dare to dream about. You're noticing how easily it comes to you and how you are now an expert, how you've developed yourself as a pro, and how you have stepped into the space of being an unstoppable, super embodied, sexy in your own way, an abundant business woman. So just see if you can feel that vision for yourself. So you're there right now. You're there right now. Feel for yourself what that feels like. Having made it a reality, having created your dream, because this is what we're living into. So serving the world in a way that excites you and inspires you the most. So if you girls remember, there was a session in the challenge which spoke about your dream home. That was a guided visualization. So whether you've done this visualization or not, just imagine yourself standing in your dream home. So this is the dream home you'd be living in, let's say, 5 years from now, that you've manifested for yourself. It's exactly as you want it to be. And just feel yourself standing in that home. And look around for a second what that looks like. What do you see? Perhaps any specific furniture, a specific vibe, a specific feeling of the home. Your space that you created for yourself. So walk through the kitchen. From the living room, walk into the kitchen. And just go into the kitchen and grab yourself a cup of water, fresh water from the tap, which is this freshest, most delicious spring water that you have there. Just take a sip of that. And swallow the water, feel it going down your throat. And take a breath in. Look around you. And feel how you're standing in this space. Look at yourself. Smart and strategic mind, yet intimately connected to yourself, your soul, your purpose, and your passion. Loving working on your creative projects every day. Having inspiration flow through you, and you being a vessel for it, making a difference on this planet. Being connected to your source, and having stepped up in the things that you've learned through our program, and having made a difference. Oh my goodness, gorgeous women. I'm just reloading the chat and I'm seeing you girls didn't actually hear me, which is so unfortunate because I just guided a very powerful visualization session. Let me just go through your messages in a second. Oh gosh, I can't believe that. That's incredible. So, okay. We stopped at the water. It stopped with the water glass. Okay. So let me just first clear something out, Mia. No, we definitely announced that Ronja was not going to be on for this session today. So it's just me. Yeah. So we stopped at the water glass. Okay, so I'm going to just bring you back to this because I think it's very empowering if we still go through this. So we are going to do the following. Okay. So girls, I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath in. And with the exhale, just let out a sigh. Maybe you're feeling some frustration or irritation for having lost the connection just now. And just feel whatever you're feeling in your body. I notice for me, I'm feeling some slight restlessness. So just take a deep breath in and let out whatever sound is currently present in your body. Do that once more. And as you're sitting there, I'm just going to ask you to reconnect to your physical body. So just feel the weight underneath your bed for a second. And feel how the gravity is pulling you towards the chair or whatever surface it is that you're sitting on right now. And in doing that, just continuing to breathe. And every time you breathe out, letting out whatever sound is currently present for you inside your body. And as you're sitting there, I'm going to ask you to just raise your arms above the side, along the side, and put them above your head. Stretch out for a second, taking your hands all the way up, and then moving towards your left, so stretching your right body, right side body, and breathing into that. And going back into the middle. Breathing in, going up, and to the right. Feeling your left side body stretch. Breathing into that. And heading back into the middle. So I'm gonna just have to answer some of your questions because I'm finding that some of you have still lost connection, which is strange because for me, the connection has been on all the time. And I've just had my partner as a backup to check for me. And strangely enough for him, we were connected here all the time as well. So I'm just going to check in with all of you if you have me here. So Wi-Fi is definitely not a problem on my end. Just want to hear a quick yes from you girls that I am here with you. Yep, says Annika. You says yes. Yes, live, says Natalie. Okay, absolutely amazing. Great. So I'm assuming that most of you have me here. So I'm so sorry for that interruption. Oh, it's so frustrating. I just led the most beautiful visualization for you. And I think I'm just going to continue doing it. So it's going to be a little bit of an interrupted little shock that we've had here, but I'm just going to guide you into it because it was very, very powerful and I want you to experience it. So with that power, just everybody just say with me, or whatever is in you right now. And I'm going to ask you to close your eyes right now, and I'm going to guide you through it now that I definitely have all of you right here. So close your eyes and feel your body. And feel your body as you're sitting right now in this space. And then as if you're being swept into a different reality, but your body remains in the same place. Imagine right now being back in your dream home that we just spoke about. So your eyes are still closed and your surroundings have changed. You're right now standing in your dream home and you're back at that tap, having filled your glass with delicious spring water, taking a sip. And as you're taking a sip, just feel for yourself that water going down your throat, cleaning your insides. Feel the freshness of it. It's very nice and chill, the water. Feel it going down into your throat, down into your stomach. And as you're drinking that, just feel this sense of invigoration that you can feel sometimes when you drink a fresh glass of water. This sense of being immediately awake right now in your surroundings as you're standing there. And just take a breath in and smell what it smells like in your dream home. Smell the fresh breeze that goes through your house. And look around you. See the colors that are currently displayed inside your home. And notice the sun coming in, touching the floor, illuminating your home. And feel it on your feet. Sun glowing on your feet as you're standing there. Glass of water still in your hand. So put down the glass of water and walk into your living room. And just see what your living room feels like. And sit down on your favorite couch that's there. Or perhaps it's a hammock. Whatever it is, pick down your favorite spot in your new living room and sit down there for a second. And just feel the fabric or the material, whatever it is that you're touching, that you're sitting on right now. And as you take a deep breath in, and also let it out, and just let go of any tension that you may have had. And playfully look around you as you're sitting there. Look around you in your dream home. Look around you in your dream home and just notice how fucking gorgeous it is. Notice how beautiful it looks. And also notice how at peace you feel being there. And for a second, just think of everything that you have done to be able to manifest that space. And feel for a second how that feels, having taken all of those steps. Realizing where you are now, having your dream business. You're earning the amounts of money that you didn't even dare to dream about. And it all came to you. Just feel that for a second, that realization as you're sitting there on your favorite piece of furniture in your living room. And as you're sitting there, become aware of the fact that you are an expert. You're a pro. You have become an unstoppable, sexy, in your own way, beautiful and abundant businesswoman. Feeling totally powerful within yourself. Having that clear and crystal feeling of having your mind being so smart and strategic, and yet you feel intimately connected to yourself, your soul, your purpose, and your passion. And you're loving it. Just notice as you're sitting there on that piece of furniture, how good it feels. And how absurd it is, because a couple years ago, you never would have thought that you would be standing there or sitting there in your favorite home right now. And yet it feels so natural that you're there. Just feel yourself sitting there. And look around once more while you're playfully glancing over your favorite parts of your living room. And just become aware as you're sitting there of what's coming tomorrow. So tomorrow you just realized one of your partners will be joining you in your home, right there in that living room. And you'll be working on one of your most favorite creative projects. Just become aware of that for a second. And think of all the awesome things that you're going to be talking about with that person. And feel this sense of excitement bubbling inside of you for wanting to create something. And you just can't wait to create it and do it and manifest this next big awesome thing that's going to change so many lives. And notice how inspiration flows through you. And how you are being a vessel for so much magic that's making a difference in this world. You're directly connected to Source. You're making things happen. And it's fun and it feels like play. And the cool thing is, people love it. People love it. It's not just bringing you joy. It's not just bringing you the abundance that you desire, but the world loves everything you're putting out. Your specific ICA is so incredibly grateful for your gifts and your services. And just notice this sense of girly, giggly feeling as you're sitting on this chair of oh my gosh, I can't believe that I'm living this. Oh, it feels so goddamn amazing. You love it. You love it. So keep your actual eyes closed right now, but as you're sitting on that chair in your favorite living room, open your eyes there in that moment. And step out, move through your living room onto the doors that connect you to outside. And as you come outside, step into your perfect, beautiful garden. Inhale the smells of the fresh flowers, your favorites, and look around you in your garden. Just see clearly for yourself what it looks like. And go for a little stroll through your garden. And just notice and remember how just yesterday, someone came up to you in your garden. Someone came up to you, and this person happens to look exactly like your ICA. Just remember how that happened the day before as you're walking through your garden. That this person came up to you saying, thank you. Thank you so much for your love, for your passion, for your contribution, for your wisdom, for your uninhibited sharing of yourself and this planet, for believing that you're good enough to actually make a difference. Because for me, you have. Just look at this person and remember how that felt. Take a deep breath in and just remember that beautiful moment. Feel how good it feels. And look into that person's eyes. And say, oh my goodness, thank you. I am so grateful and so glad that I get to make a difference for you. It's amazing. Thank you. Feel that sense of warmth and like that excitement of remembering how this happened for you just a day before, this person coming up to you. And although it still really excites you that this happens, it happens to you all the time. There's strangers coming up to you all the time, wherever you go, thanking you with all their heart, saying thank you. Oh my goodness, I heard about you. Yes, I've seen your program. Thank you. You make a difference for me. Thank you. Feel how good it feels and continue your stroll through your garden. And in your garden, find your favorite spot. And walk there and sit down there. And just for yourself, look back on the journey that you took to get to where you are right now. Feel the sense of gratitude inside of yourself for having trusted yourself, for having trusted that inner whisper, for having trusted the guidance of your soul. Feel the sense of gratitude and feeling blessed. Blessed to live this life and give yourself fully. And see yourself there, sending love to the universe, love and appreciation. Thank you. Saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And feel how much the universe loves you back. And as you're sitting there, feel free to make a sign, a gesture, a bow, or any other thing that feels authentic to you to express your gratitude to the universe now. Thank you. In your own way. Take a deep breath in and feel all those emotions that were just generated inside of you. Feel the gravity beneath you again. In this world. Start bringing your awareness back into this space where you're at right now. Notice your surroundings shifting, being back in this current physical reality. Take another few deep breaths. And notice the sounds around you in this current space. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes. And I'd love to hear from you girls in the chat how you feel right now and what you've seen in this visualization, how you felt and what you've seen. So I'm just awaiting your comments trickling in inside of the chat. If you feel called to share. Annika says, oh my God, I did not expect another lover. I was even hugging the gardener. Lots of love going around. Thank you. It was impressive. Beautiful, Annika. I love that. Susanna says, tears in my eyes, touched, very calm. It's already there. I can see and feel it. Beautiful. Anya says, cute birds. Gorgeous, beautiful woman. So for yourself and or here in the chat, write down how this was for you, what you saw and how you felt. Susanna says, 3-year-old child and lover was there again. Beautiful, beautiful, Susanna. Barbara says, I feel great, awake and with energy. I saw myself empowered and in my dream Zen-like place, feeling the pleasure to be alive. Beautiful, Barbara. Anna says, I'm so overwhelmed by all the emotions and the abundance of love I just experienced. I love that, Anna. That's so beautiful. Alessia says, feeling very calm and excited. I saw my beautiful ICA. Gorgeous, gorgeous, Alessia. Thank you, says Anya. It was so intense. Genevieve says, I had a hard time seeing my deck at the beginning. I was looking at what's by the end, after the grateful moment in the garden, a clear vision of my dream living room appeared, and it was perfect. Simple, letting room to the beauty of nature. It made me welcome Mother Earth in my house. That sounds wonderful. I love that. Gorgeous, beautiful women. Yay. So with that, if you still feel called to share, please go ahead and do that in the chat. And for now, I will take you through a few questions that are just going to give you some clarity in terms of what you've already done for yourself, what you've already created in the last few months, weeks, months, during the Abundant Passionpreneur journey. So if you don't have it ready for yourself already, grab yourself a notebook and a pen. And then I'm going to ask you a few questions and give you some time to write those out. So Carola shares, amazing. I could see everything super clear. The inside was a bit more complicated, but feeling that someone was thanking me for sharing was really impressive. And I felt that this was real already. I saw the people thanking me in the supermarket. Beautiful. And I think I just want to add this before we go into the question. So incredibly powerful. And this is something that I'm taught by one of my mentors, is to really come from the space of knowing that everything we desire already exists. So there's really not, it's just looking back and seeing, oh, manifested and real, which steps would be natural to take towards that. But just by really feeling and owning that this is already reality. And I feel like when we focus on that truly, when we try to tune into that reality every single day, it's like kind of like a distorted reality view, they can call it, because that's not influenced by the current outside reality, but that just really, we see this as real because it is, and it will eventually manifest in the physical reality because it is already done. It's already done. And I find that so incredibly powerful. So with that, gorgeous women, go ahead and grab your booklet. And I'm going to ask you a few questions just to like celebrate and also realize what we've actually done in the Abundant Passionpreneur so far. So for me, what's really sacred is my review time. I do this daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, and it really gives us the opportunity to actually see what we've already done. And our brain really loves results. So with these few questions, you're going to get clear on what you've actually already created for yourself. So question number 1 is, or write down for yourself, a few things that you could, let's say 3 wins of yourself of things that you've discovered and done and achieved, accomplished, or started during the Abundant Passionpreneur so far. So 3 things, 3 big wins that you're proud of, that you have done, discovered, achieved, accomplished during this course so far. So that could be, to give you an example, let me just copy the question here so you girls can easily see it. So write down 3 things you're most proud of that you've accomplished, achieved, started during this course. So if your mind is now saying like, oh my gosh, I don't know if there's anything, then realize that that's your mind and that's not the answer to the question. The question is to find out 3 things that you're proud of for yourself that you've started, achieved, or accomplished during the last couple of sessions. So, and that can be something first video, and I shared it inside the Abundant Passionpreneur Facebook group. It could be that I have already done this and this and that module. It could be I have started talking to my ICA. It could be I wrote 5 people to ask them what they think my biggest strengths are. So don't let your mind take you out of the game here. And if you're done with writing this, I would love to hear from you in the chat what your 3 things are. Eve says, I have my first 15 people on my email list. That is epic. Congratulations, Eve. So great. I bought a couple of domains. Great. I have beautiful shops. Awesome. Really great, Eve. My first video ever. High five. 2, I asked 5 ICAs the key questions, which gave me great insight and inspiration. I love that. That is so powerful, right? If you take that action. 3, I had a photo session with a photographer. I have been wanting to do portraits since a long time and finally asked, and I did it. Oh, you might just want to share some of those pretty photos inside the Facebook group so we can see them. Sounds amazing. I love that. Yay, girls. I'd love to hear from more of you. If you feel called, please write it in the chat. Annika shares, making videos on Facebook and promoting them. Epic, Annika, that's great. Designing with Canva, fun. Started MailChimp, created a training, and I love doing it again after 16 years. I talked to my ICAs. Yay, epic, Annika. Anna says, making decisions and actions to start all over again. Quitting my job, leaving my husband. Whoa. Wow, woman, that's powerful. 2, letting go of fears. Yay. 3, getting into so I want to just hear a quick yes if I'm still live for you here. Susanna shares, signed up for WWW training. Not sure what it is, but that's amazing. First invitation to one country to lead a workshop. Clearer PTA, much more heart connection. Feeling more like an expert. Oh, great. Great. I'm happy. I'm back. Yes, I thought I was, so I continued. Thank you, girls. So understanding of the funnel and the whole thing here, awesome. I have asked these important questions to my ICA, perfect. Anna Marta asked, 15 people for my biggest strengths, designed my first intro workshops, met up with some Dutch fellow passionpreneurs. That's great, yes. Some of you had meetups in the Netherlands and in Berlin. So exciting. There's something very exciting in a minute. Don't give it away yet, Leonie. Okay, I won't. I'll save it 5 more minutes and I'll share something very excited with you. So stay tuned. You girls are going to love this. So Susanna says Wild Wind's Way is, okay, yeah, Michaela Böhm. Oh, great. I heard about that. Yes. Alicia says, deciding to do this delicious program. Yay, so awesome. 2, reaching out to others and being vulnerable with them. Beautiful. 3, learning my iceberg. Gorgeous, Alicia. I love that. Carola shares, started to believe more in myself. Work tuning, yes, powerful mindset shift. Created content to share on my page, my YouTube, started a mounting ritual and put up the lifelines for the next 3 months. Whoa, cool. And interviewing for first shitty draft for so exciting, Carola. Wow, congratulations, that's great. Barbara says, I learned how to do audios with music and my voice over it for my opt-ins. My voice over it, opt-ins, great. My goal is to do retreats with other therapy workshop, human design, etc. That sounds great. I have talked to ICAs, have a lot of information, and now I have to complete the detailed definition. Great. Taking small steps with my voiceover group. Epic. That's great, Natalie. The sound count sound video. Super cool, Natalie, because I know that you were feeling a little bit stuck around that because you shared that in one of the sessions. That's amazing to hear. Yay, women. Exciting. Woohoo. I'm so happy. So with that, if any of you want to share, please continue. I have one more question that I want to ask. Actually, 2. So the second question is, what did you learn during this course? Let me see, I'm going to copy it in here as well. It is, what did you learn during this course? So what insights did you have? And what do you now, with knowing that, know is possible for yourself? So it's kind of like, what shift of consciousness happened for you? Carola writes, Barbara, I also want to work with massage, body consciousness, and human design. Who knows if we can support each other? Not a bad idea. Great. So what did you learn during this course and what insights that you have? And then connected to that, what do you now know is possible? says your voice is gone. Is that still the case? Yes. And then I would love to know from you. Please let me know here in the chat. And by the way, this is good. These questions, you can ask them again and again and again. I actually ask myself these questions every day. So what did you learn? What insights did you have during this course? And what do you now know is possible? And I would love it if you would share it in the chat so I have an idea of what's present for you. We can share our insights with each other. Okay, great. Here we have some answers. Wonderful. Genevieve says, I'm slowly merging my interests and passions into one clear core mission that I will be able to share. Realizing, accepting, understanding, I only need to be one step ahead. That's so powerful, Genevieve. That is so beautiful. And I think that's really what's making the difference for you to actually start sharing in people's lives. Because we so often hold ourselves back, right? Feeling like we're not good enough. But once we can somehow get over that or just acknowledge it and see it, but not let it stop us, that's when we can really change lives. Stephanie says, money is an energy and I am allowed to receive it in abundance. Wow, that is powerful. I love that. I am learning to let go of my limiting beliefs. I cannot do this or that, blah, blah, blah. Yes, perfect. Great. And trusting that it is possible to learn everything. Business is possible in the female way. Yeah, such a relief. I love that, Stephanie. Beautiful. Gorgeous. And some more connections being made here. So girls, if you want to share, let me know here in the chat. And otherwise, I'm going to continue with our last question. Natalie shares, taking one step at a time towards my goal, working through fear and depression. Yes, woman. Beautiful. That is so powerful. And I congratulate you for being there. It's beautiful. So happy for you, Natalie. And it really does take going one step at a time. I love that. Beautiful. Annika says, found my absolutely happy price and got it. Instant result. Yay! Very good. Bring more of me into the world. It's really not about it being anything else but me. I'm relaxing into not knowing. Gorgeous. I know the interviewing the ICA is not for me. I feel right now in a lot of rich black void and nothing is happening. Being. Okay, well, you may want to reconsider if the ICA interview is not for you. Maybe you can do it in your own way. I think it's extremely powerful. I think you should do it. Just saying, but all the other stuff sounds absolutely amazing. A lot about myself, letting go of fear and my perfectionism. A lot more is possible than I thought. Focus on one thing until it is done, and done is better than perfect. Woo! Awesome. I am learning and learning so quickly. Powerful woman. Yes, great. Alessia says, I learned a lot about what's possible. I had a shift in money beliefs. I know now how much abundance is available, and I also am better able to tune in with myself to grow. Love that. That's amazing. Super, super duper duper epic. So last question. How did you grow during this program? List out all the reasons why you are absolutely epic. Boom. And this is a work in progress because obviously we don't have enough time to write down all the reasons because there's so many. But just start listing a few. Barbara says, I trust now that a lot more is possible than I thought before. I feel more present and I see that I get a lot of positive feedbacks from my clients. Beautiful, Barbara. I love that. Congratulations. That's awesome. Carola shares, to earn money is a play of numbers. Abundance is a state you tune in always. I found a way that I can realize how I want to live, appreciating more of myself, learn how to create programs and products. Awesome. The importance of free sharing and giving them what they want. Marketing point of view changed. Yeah. Epic. That's a lot of stuff, Carola. Very great. Anna Marta, I got a lot of practical insight on how to actually create stuff. So workshop or online courses and insights about money and that you don't need to work so much to create abundance. That it is for me as well. Woohoo! I love that. I love that, Anna Marta. Yes, such a freedom, right? We get when we see that. Genevieve shares, I have grown in self-discovery. I realize that all the things I have done before, although diverse, all serve a purpose in my mission. Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. That's gorgeous. Susanna says, I'm super inspired through the program on many levels. And now you have to write down, Susanna, all the reasons why you're epic. Okay, great. So I'm just looking at my notes for what I'm going to share with you after this, which is very exciting. So if you girls feel inspired, please let me know the answer to these questions in the chat. And then I'm going to share something incredibly, incredibly exciting for you. Barbara says, what is really epic? Well, it's just anything that you can say that will make your brain realize how cool you actually are. So, and sometimes our brain is a little bit messed up, so we need to find certain ways to realize. But for instance, it could be, well, we kind of already went over it, but you can just like repeat some of the things you answered in previous questions. So why are you absolutely epic? Maybe for having shared your first video. Oh my gosh, and totally stepping out of your comfort zone and growing like crazy. That is super powerful, something like that. Anna Marta says, I would really love to learn more still about working through limiting beliefs and blockages, etc. Will there be some space for that in the program as well? Like in the 7-day challenge, would be super happy with that. That's a really great one. We may very well still have space for that. And we have also in some of our modules already put that in, but I'm going to take your note with me anyway. So I'm going to write it down here under ideas. Yeah, actually, we will definitely do that, Annika. Why am I even saying that? I'm not sure if we will. We definitely will, because there is an entire module actually designed for that, which is module 11 called Becoming Unstoppable. So we're going to go into that in module 11. Yes. Eve says, people reach out to me for advice on sexuality and call me a breast expert. Who would have thought? Yeah, there you go. Powerful. That's beautiful. Really, really great. Leonie says, I feel that I am very special and unique and have a lot to give and share. I want to show myself even more and know my value. Yes, woman. Powerful. Wait, which Leonie wrote that? Was it me? Oh, no. It was you. Just kidding. Beautiful, 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 beautiful women. Great. So with that, before we go fully into our Q&A, or shall I do it afterwards? Something so exciting to share with you girls. It's actually ridiculous. Like, it's so fucking cool and it's insane and it's amazing and it's so cool. And I'm not going to tell you yet. I'm going to tell you in a few minutes, but it's so exciting. I'm going to just read the last few comments I have here. Adelie says, now, come! Yes, I know, it's really exciting. I will tell you now, after I read these comments. Annika shares, I am epic because I get so much done in so little time. Boom, yeah. I am very creative. I listen very well to my body and I'm following my heart. Awesome, I love that. Alessia says, I've grown into myself, trusting who I am is right and perfect. I am epic in beauty, in health, for being strong and vulnerable, for showing up and pushing forward in my dreams on so many levels. Love it, Alicia. That's gorgeous. So, beautiful women. Ronja is, as you noticed, Ronja is not here during the session. I knew that already. We planned on that for weeks, that I would be having this session on my own. And but what I'm going to share has just as much to do as it has with me, because we're creating it together. And so you're in the Abundant Passionpreneur program, right? And it's amazing. And we can meet up with each other online every week, which is great. Some of you also met each other live. But how about maybe, it would be interesting if maybe we could also meet each other live, and we could maybe meet up with each other. How cool would that be? Wouldn't that be super exciting? Just let me know in the chat if that's exciting to you, because it's very exciting to me. I feel a little bit like a child. Am I over enthusiastic? No, I'm not. I really like it. So Ronja and I thought, okay, well, it's really great to do things online, but it's so much more powerful when we're actually going to start doing things in real life and at it. So we are going to have a next launch of the Abundant Passionpreneur program, and we don't know when yet exactly. We need to look at the dates, but it's definitely going to happen. We're right now looking at either for the next program to start in October or in probably February. So I'm seeing, yes, but where? That would be very awesome. Yes, it is, of course. Where and when, says Genevieve. So this is really exciting. In the next launch of the Abundant Passionpreneur program, we are also going to incorporate live sessions. And right now we are looking at least one retreat, which would take 4 days. And here's the insane thing. And that would probably, I'm feeling that would take place somewhere in Europe, because that's kind of what is our base. But we're not certain yet, but it's going to happen somewhere in the world. And the thing is, you girls are invited for that. Because, it would be like the launch for the next round of women, but because you girls are our first ever group and you're extremely special to us, we want to invite you for that. And here's the even more insane thing about it. We wouldn't charge you any money for it. So we decided that because you're so special to us and because we want to give you amazing value, we decided that if you want to join us for that, you don't have to pay for it. Isn't that insane? It is a little bit insane. It is a little bit insane. So let us know in the chat how you feel about that. Now, when I say you don't need to pay for it, there is obviously accommodation and food and the location that needs to be covered, but that's the basic cost, which you won't be paying to us. You'll be paying it to whichever location we're going to be staying at. So how is that? How does it sound? I think it's so cool. A part of me is like, oh my gosh, that's crazy for free. But it doesn't really matter because it's going to be so powerful. And the next round of women who are going to join do need to pay for it, because the next round of women will need to pay 1,500 euros for it to be able to participate in that live. So that's insane value that we're offering you right there. But it feels really good and we decided to do it. So that is what's going to happen. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So let me just go through your comments. It would be great to happen. Woohoo! I love this. Oh my God. Whoa. Thank you. Whoa. You ladies are awesome. I would like to vote. October in Europe, a graduation party of sorts. That's also an option. I do remember that Ronja is probably not in Europe in October, but I will write this down. That's also an option. So that would be a party. We'll see. Which would be just for the... We'll see how that's... Tiffany, Annika, maybe! Who knows? Susanna says, insane! I know, it's crazy. Anya says it's a little bit amazing. Anna says I'm speechless and so grateful for that. Susanna says that's so cool. Annika says face. Whoa, that sounds fantastic. I hope it is in Europe. Whoa, that's awesome, says Anna Marta. Yes, in Ibiza would be great. I could offer accommodation for some of you. Great. Angelica says now big. Anya says I hope I can join. Annika says amazing. Let us know soon so we can have our bag of gold ready for the trip. What do you mean? You're going to give us gold? I mean, you can. You don't have to. Anya says, will Ronja be there too? Definitely. It will be the two of us and maybe some live guests. We'll see. I'm in contact with women like, for instance, Lisa Nichols, who is absolutely amazing. We are considering maybe getting some amazing women to participate. So Corolla says, very early enough to be. Definitely, yes. We're gonna probably decide on this in like the next 1 month. Stephanie says, I love Ibiza as well. Delivering, bam, I know, right? Bam, this was massive over delivering. Bam, if we wouldn't, we actually sold the program, but we didn't. So yeah. Natalie says, because I would be coming from the US. So let us know soon. Yes, exactly. So Ingrid says, really epic. Yay! So exciting. Siv says, yes, thank you. Yay. Well, beautiful women, I am so incredibly excited. And we're gonna start making some decisions on that and like start making some plans in terms of where in the world Ronja and I are gonna be. And I'm sure it's gonna be in Europe, because that's just where we are both, well, at least I'm based currently, and where most of our women are based. So it's probably going to be in Europe. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm a little baffled, although I already knew what I was going to say, so it's not a big surprise for me. It's still really exciting. And I knew this for like 2 weeks already, and I like wanted to write it to you girls all the time, and I thought, no, I need to kind of like save it. With that, Q&A sessions. Now, because we had a little bit of a breakup with the audio somewhere at the beginning, so everything took a little bit longer than expected. And now I shared all of this amazing excitement with you. But session. So in very short, with opening for you to answer. I'm so excited, I don't even know how to talk to anymore. I'm going to be opening the floor for you to ask me any questions, and then I'll be answering live. And if you have some specific questions that you want to have answered, write them in the, and then I'm going to choose which one. I might be able to do all of them, and I might not. And if any of you feel excited at, there's an option, apparently, for me to give you access to the camera. So then I would invite you as a speaker. So let me see here for a second. I see a few questions, so I'm first going to reply to them. Barbara says, you are amazing, generous. Thank you, Barbara. Anna Marta says, oh, voting for Europe would be so cool to see you all in real life. Can't wait. I'm also very excited. Natalie says, what are the things you do in private coaching, and when are you going to start them? I'm going to definitely answer that in a minute. The sound is always disconnecting, or is it only me? Anya, I think it's only you, because I saw you saying that you're the only one currently experiencing that. So here's a bold question. Who of you now to share on camera just for a second how you feel after having done our visualization and after having written down these, feel also now after like this this opportunity. Is there any of you who would like to share on camera just like how you feel right now? And maybe you're like, that's really scary, I don't want to, and that's totally fine. But if any of you right now would love to share real short, like for like 2 or 3 minutes, how you feel right now on camera. Let me know in the chat. can, says Genevieve. Okay, cool. Okay, Genevieve, so I'm going to invite you as a speaker now, and then you can basically just share some of the main insights that you've had and how you feel right now and what your general experience has been inside of the program. So, and whatever it is that you feel called to share right now. So I just invited you as a speaker, which means you probably need to go click a button somewhere in our chat right now and accept that. So let me know if that's working out for you. Carola says a little bit scary, but I can also share. Yay! Great. Great. So girls, you may need to check your email to be able to share this right now. So as you girls are getting that set up, I just invited to Genevieve and to Carola. I invited both of you right now to speak. So while you girls are setting that up, I can just start answering some of the questions that are here. Annika shares that gathering will be so visible from space as a big bubble of abundant light, and imagine the co-creation coming from that. Yes, it's going to be super duper exciting. So in the meantime, I'll just answer the question that Natalie asked, which was, when are you going to start coaching and what are you going to cover in the private coaching sessions? So in the private coaching sessions, Ronja and I did lay out a little bit of a program for it for the girls who joined us for the VIP coaching session. So we'll be diving into some strategy around your business, but there's also a lot of freedom around them because we know that individual requests are very personal. So we will be going to whatever is really present for you. And probably in the first session, we'll just really go into that and see what's there for you. So, and then we'll decide how we can serve you best. And what we'll offer is anything that's related to your business and something that might be blocking you in that, but also very specific strategies. Or we can just like have a brainstorming session together about what it is that you want to move forward in. So it really depends on what it is that you're looking for. And when we're going to start them, we are now in the implementation week, and I actually have an email ready to roll out to you tomorrow morning to start the private coaching for those of you who already have it. And I will also send out an email because I know some of you wanted to book it. You were one of them, Natalie. So tomorrow you will actually receive a link that's going to allow you to book that. And the reason we waited for it is because we think it's more powerful if you're a little bit further in the program already, because then the questions that you have are going to be much more relevant for you and you're going to get much more value out of it. Genevieve, you're here. Beautiful. So what you will need to do is you will need to activate your sound and you will need to activate your camera.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yay. So exciting.
I'm in my bath.
Oh, so yeah, you can switch on the camera, but you do not have to. Oh, there you go.
But it's funny because I look like you with the bare shoulders.
Exactly. I also look naked. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Yes.
So would you want to share just quickly right now what you got out of today's session and what you're left with feeling right now?
Yeah, well, I had missed a few sessions. I had a lot to catch up. So the good part is that it's good to reconnect. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're doing great.
But what I wanted to say was that this program really fell at the right moment for me. I think I've lost you on my side, but anyway, it fell in the right moment because I was already
back in.
Yeah.
So you wanted to say that this program
just appeared in my life at the right moment because I was already thinking of developing, and I had pressure also from a friend of mine who does my social media to get going with the opt-ins and free product and everything. So when your class came, sorry, I'm just going to leave the bathroom because of the echo. I think it's too big.
Let me just for our broadband, I'm just going to switch off your webcam because I'm not sure if it can handle it both at the same time. So right now we only have your sound.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah. So the program came at the right moment because I already wanted to have an opt-in product and everything. So that's perfect. So I've been catching up because I missed a few weeks. My daughter had a concussion and she was very, whatever, life happened. And then I traveled to Canada. But so yeah, it's amazing. I'm really, really wanting to keep going on with the heartbeat of the group because, as I said, it just appeared in my life at the right time. And I think it's a bit of a sign.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I want to enjoy it.
And what is it most powerful? Because I did see some of your comments, but if you can just tell us like the most amazing things about yourself right now and the ways that you've grown in.
Yeah, because I've had very diverse interests. Like I sing, I dance, I act, I do photography. I'm a very open person in general, and all of this has come sometimes as like overwhelming. Like, who am I? What can I do? And I just realized those are the perfect ingredients to actually ignite women and really help them feel, beautiful, good in their body, explore their voice. So I'm really, really starting to see myself as a person who can, really help a person love themselves better and enjoy life better and just, ignite them in a way. And the cherry on top is really like the portrait session with me, which is really a gift of self-love, I think, for a person to be portrayed and to, have these pictures in the end for herself. So this is kind of my big ticket product in the end, is this portrait session one-on-one of self-discovery, both inside and out.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I love it. It's great. And now that we're on it anyway, and I'm going to open the floor also for other women who want to ask questions to come on like this live. If there's anything you want to ask right now, you can. And otherwise, that's also okay. So you can just check if there's any question you wanted to ask right now, specifically also add it to this.
Are you asking me?
Now we're connected now anyway, so you could, if you would want. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Are you asking me or the other women? If I have questions.
I'm asking you. Oh. I thought we're on anyway. And if you don't, that's fine.
Yeah, for the moment, I don't think I have to tell you the truth, the sound is not very, very good. There's lots of echo from my side, I think.
Yeah, great. So yeah, I think it might be something with the connection. So thank you so much for sharing this. I love it. And I think you're going to join us for the live event if it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Awesome. How excited do you feel about it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Can you repeat the question?
How excited do you feel about it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, a 9 or a 10. The 9 being like whether I cannot make it, right? There's always the doubt of, is this going to be a good timing? But it will be lovely. I love meeting in person.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Well, I'm so proud of you, and it's so beautiful that you have had these experiences of growing, and I can't wait to see what more you're going to be developing. So thank you so much for sharing for now.
Thank you.
And I'm going to let you continue your bath if you want to.
I'm out. I have to go now anyway to a class, but thank you.
Okay, beautiful.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you, beautiful Jennifer, for sharing. Mwah. Ciao. Gorgeous, beautiful. So lovely women with that, and with Genevieve's share, I'm seeing that for Carola, she might not be able to get on, which is totally fine. I would love to open the floor right now for all of your questions to pour in right now through chat, or if you would want to share them on video, that would also be okay. And questions? I have a few questions written down here already that were asked me some of the girls who make it live today. So I'm going to start answering their questions. But before we do that, I want to invite you girls to just do a quick goddess rinse with Ronja's goddess rinses. So if you can feel comfortable on your chair. And first bring your hands up. Stretch them up above your head and stretch yourself to the left. So stretching my very hairy armpits are also getting stretched. So the right side of your body is stretching. You're going all the way to the left. There. And then with an inhale, bringing your arms back up along the sides. And then, kind of like a scanner, letting your hands go down in front of you. And kind of clear in your body. And cutting all the way down and reaching your hands back up again. And then you can actually physically touch your body and whichever body parts that long to be touched. And with another breath in, arms up above the side. And then touching your head, your face, your neck, your breasts, your belly, your arms. Letting out a sigh. Stretching whatever body parts want to be stretched right now. Gently roll your shoulders. Neck. That feels very, very good. That, girls. I open the floor of your questions, and if you're feeling right now like you don't have any specific questions and you want to take off to go out in nature, that's totally fine. And then I will dive with the rest of you some more. So one of the questions I'm answering is some of the questions that I received from Janie. She was unable to make it live for the webinar. And she had multiple questions. So a lot of them were about how to be able to actually travel the world while continuing your work. And so now those are some very specific questions, so I will probably answer them during a specific module. However, one of the questions that she asked was, this one, I'll just copy it here. Janie asked, how do you manage your conscious offline time when you are 24/7 running an online business? So that's a very powerful question. And it comes down to, for me personally, that comes down to being very organized with my time and being very conscious about the amount of time that I spend online. So I'm just getting some feedback from Siv that my sound is very poor and disconnected, which I'm going to see if this is going to make a difference if I'm wearing my headset. Okay, so I'll just answer that question from now. How do you manage your conscious offline time when you have 24/7 online business? Very important question. And I can share something personal about this because I think like many of us, there's the online world is great, right? Like we can do so many beautiful things there. We can make a tremendous difference. We can reach so many people. And it is also can be pretty intense to sit behind a computer all the time, to be watching a screen. And also there's this continuous input, especially through things like email and social media. And I think all of us in a way have a social media addiction. And it's been proven that from every little notification and every like, we get a stimulus response, which is kind of like an oxytocin injection in our brain. So it can literally be as addictive as foods or drugs or any other stuff. So to manage being able to run an online business is I am very conscious of my breaks. I am very conscious of not being online in the evening unless I consciously make an exception. Non-negotiable fun, 100% offline. So I try to be completely screen-free. I, use my GPS and stuff, but at least I aim to be. And that really helps. For me, it's about time that I use a specific app. I'll write it in the chat. It's called the Freedom app. I think they charge you like $30 or something for a lifetime access, if I'm correct. And they can be, this is an app that you can install on your phone and on your laptop. And basically I block certain websites with it. So I only have access to Facebook between 5 and 6:30 in the afternoon. And on the other times, I simply do not have access to Facebook unless I use my boyfriend's phone, which then is like a step in between because I need to ask him. He often uses it himself. But if I would really, really need it, I could still access it, but I'm unable to reach it on my phone or laptop. Yes, I could say, okay, to deal with it, but honestly, why would I bother? And I noticed that I'm prone to getting addicted to it very easily. That's how I have out discipline. And that feels very, very good to do that. So that's one of the ways. Another way is to be very connected to nature and to work out every single day, which I think is so incredibly important. In the capital city, drive back into the mountains. We'll have limited we installed there. There is free internet of the village, which is available to us for an hour and a half a day. We do have a hotspot on our phone. And this kind of forces us to use minimum amounts of internet. There's this guy, Ilko de Boer, who is a Dutch entrepreneur, online entrepreneur, very successful. And he says his secret to success is that he only uses internet for 1 hour a day. He runs online. Marie fully online really limits her amount of time that she's online. So I try to do most of my work offline. I also work a lot with paper. Actually, right here, I have these are all my notes that I work with. I do everything on paper, and that helps me stay sane. So I hope that answered Janie's question. Next question is from, now I have all my professional stuff that's online in German. My private Facebook is in English. I give one-on-one sessions in English here in Berlin. Now, I'd love to work more internationally. Will be in the US and in England and in Australia for 3 months. And then I love the question. If I do it, and I'm assuming, please, can you let me know in the chat, Suzanne? I'm assuming that you want to know whether you do it in English or both. Here's my recommendation. I would say definitely choose one. because I think personally, like I struggled with the same question when I just started out. I would say choose one and go for that fully. Just because it takes a lot of time to always have to translate everything. It's kind of a hassle. For me, I considered going Dutch, and I spoke to some professionals, and they said, yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea to go Dutch or German. It's much easier for you to be recognized as an expert. At least that's what's being said. That's the advice that I got, because there's less of this, what you're offering, being offered in your region. So if you have access to some online marketing tools and you're like varying yourself, it's much easier for you to make a bigger impact within your country and to, as in the words of one of those guys, was dominate your market. Whereas internationally, there's a lot more competition. I both get that, and I understand it, and I kind of agree with it. And I don't entirely, because I think if you really authentically share yourself, there's no such thing as competition, like the blue ocean strategy and everything that we spoke about. But I think for me personally, it's become English, because I travel so much. Most of my clients are not Dutch. So I've decided to go for English, and it feels completely right. I also see some people who first go for their local market and then decide to expand and like go like into the English markets. So let me see if you have already written out the rest. Yes. If I do it only in English or both, because my clients here in Berlin are mainly German, and on my list with 500 people, there are 90% Germans. Any thoughts on that? Thank you. I can't say do one or the other, because that's a personal choice. But if you have, you may just want to realize that often you do it in their maternal language. So in that sense, it might not be a bad idea to go in German. There's a lot of German people out there, so there will not be any missing out. And also, if you're going to meet people individually in English, you will still be able to offer them services in English, just because you're sharing your stuff with them like directly one-on-one. What you could do is you could make an English and a German version of your website, which is with just the basic information on it. That's not very hard to do, but I would recommend on your social media not making it too hard on yourself. Although that being said, I looked at the social media page yesterday of a friend whose iState unique, and he does half of it in German, half of it in English. And he has a massive reach with it. But personally, I would say, but you know what? I would say check in with your ICA. Talk to your ICA and talk to some people that are already on your list and see how it would be for them if you would communicate in English, and talk to them, because maybe then you will discover that there is a massive value that you're adding by doing it in German, and maybe not, maybe they don't care. So that's actually what I would recommend. Yes, check in with your ICA and see what the impact would be. And then you take into consideration everything that I've shared, and then at this point, you're going to have to make a decision for yourself. I feel one or the other. Okay, so here's a question. I have a specific question about those. It looks so natural, just made with a camera, or maybe even using her phone. So my question is, what do I need specific tools to make a video and to edit and to post it? Are there some specific good to know how to make a great video? Yes, there are. That's a great question, Angelica. And we're going to go specifically into this in the bonus module. So there's going to be a bonus module that Ronja is actually creating. Let me just write it down here. I am going to take your question, however, so that she can take that into consideration. She is preparing her bonus module, but she's going to go fully into that and like explain all of the best practices and everything. So you will be receiving that probably in 6 weeks from now. And your question continues, how would I make online program teaching massage technique captured with video? Do I need a professional cameraman who helps me with that, or can I do it on my own? And if yes, what would I need to make it my own? These are very detailed questions that are going to be covered in that bonus module. So we'll go in depth into it there. Okay, great. So I saw another question here come up. Alessia says, my question, I'm curious what your daily routine looks like, understanding that your days are all different depending on what you're doing, but maybe a typical day when you're creating a program or a typical day when you're traveling and working. That's a sweet question. I'm going to post in here the link to my, actually, you're probably going to receive that anyway if you're on my email list. The link to my Facebook page, because on my Facebook page, I have frequent mini vlogs that I share. And in there, you will be able to see what my daily routine looks like. Let me just see real quick. Because there are some very specific things that I do that help me stay in my power. I just copied your question though, and it's something that we may cover a little bit more in depth in module 11. So I'm just copying that here, so I'll be able to answer that more in depth for you there. Right now, I would love to have some more specific questions about modules, the modules that we've covered so far. So Alessia, I'm definitely taking your question into account, and I understand that there's a need and desire for that. I don't think I will answer it in depth right now. What I can share with you is that I work out every day, almost every day. I try to do it every day. That I meditate every day, that I have a green smoothie every day, that I do a review every single day. Every single day I do a review in which I ask myself, what are my 3 wins of today? What have I learned? Kind of like the questions that we just covered before, because I think that's very important. So this is something that we can look more at also in module 11. So I just copied your question and we will be covering it there. Susanna says, great, thank you. Angelica says, okay, epic, that's wonderful, thank you. Yes, you'll see everything in the bonus module. Annika shares, as my gift is being an empath, talking to an ICA, I got into a session because we both got affected. In the beginning, we were not, and it wasn't really going. Also, my ICAs are women I don't really know, and I feel shy to post it on Facebook. Do you have a tip? That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking that, Annika. So there's a very powerful article that I once read about coaching. And this article spoke about what to do if you are becoming slightly, let's say, affected or triggered yourself or upset during a coaching session with another client. And the advice was, don't try to push that feeling away. So it comes really down to allowing yourself to feel that way in that moment. And at the same time, recognizing it and not letting yourself be carried away by it. Because what I'm imagining is happening, Annika, is that this could be some kind of upper limit that's showing up for you. So an upper limit problem is basically something that we all have. But it's when we're doing something that's kind of going well, and then subconsciously we start to sabotage ourselves. So in your situation, there might be a subconscious part of you that's saying, oh, who are you to have this talk during the ICA session? Or a subconscious part of you that might be feeling insecure. And then that is sort of trying to take you out of the game. Whereas I imagine that if you would fully allow yourself to feel as you're feeling in that moment, you could be much more present with your ICA and with making a difference. I also imagine that what would help is to not be too harsh on yourself. So to be very gentle with yourself. And I really recognize what you share, because I've had that a lot and it can pop up for me every now and then. But I think the most powerful thing that you can do is to realize that when that happens, that is coming from a thought that is not true. So I think subconsciously there is a part of you that's then trying to take you out of the game and literally and then you start feeling insecure about yourself. I think you can also trust yourself much more. And I feel that in you trusting yourself and standing your ground, you wouldn't feel thrown off too quickly by something that your ICA might be sharing. Maybe just correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm imagining that this is happening because you feel insecure about what you're offering and like what you're sharing with them, and like wondering things like, who am I? And all of that stuff. So those are all just thoughts that are bullshit. And that are not true, because you are amazing and you're actually there to make a difference. Now, what really helps me for that is what I do before any session or any program that I create. And let me see if I have it here for you so I can show you real quick. This was actually how I did it for the Abundant Passionpreneur program. And we are actually going to go into this in detail in Module 7, which is going to be right after this. Is before I go into any conversation or any project, I always remind myself why I'm amazing. Because the mind has this really great way of just telling us that we're not. Sorry, great. So I actually here, this is how I designed the Live Your Passion Challenge. And then after that, the Abundant Passionpreneur. So I have a couple of notes. So let me see, what do I want to show you of this? Okay, so here, for instance, why do I deserve to make this money? So firstly, I wrote down here, okay, why, my purpose with the Abundant Passionpreneur, why am I doing this? What's my mission? So I wrote down, I believe in the empowerment of women. I know the frustration of not fully giving yourself, etc. So I just write down for myself, like, why I want to do it. Then I also have here, why am I the perfect person for this? Because my brain might be like, oh yeah, that's your vision, but you suck, so you're not good for this. So every time I have a project, I write this down. Then I have all the reasons that help me convince myself of how amazing I am. Because I am, I just need to remember. And then I look at those reasons. And every time while I was creating the Live Your Passion Challenge and the Abundant Passionpreneur, I look at this. And I'm like, oh yeah, of course, yeah. Oh yeah, okay. And then I'm back on track. And then I even here had, because I was obviously going to make some money with the Abundant Passionpreneur, and to avoid myself sabotaging myself, I wrote down, okay, so why do I deserve to make this money? Okay, I really add value. I deeply value and change these women's lives. It's better to be in a position where you can give than where you need to receive, all sorts of things. So this just gives you a little bit of an idea of tricks that I use to make sure that my mind doesn't take me out of the game. And we're going to go more into detail on this next week in Module 7, which is called Project Management. And that's not just going to be smart hacks on how to be more productive. It's also going to see actually like starting at the very beginning, which is the alignment of things and making sure that your mind is in the right space. So, and there's very simple hacks and tools in the chat if this somehow gives you an answer. Yes, Natalie says, these things are very helpful. Thanks. This is my gold. Like, this is my gold. And I'm now doing the exact same thing for the next project again with my love. I asked a guy, a very successful guy, who I admire, and he might for one day, who works with T. Harv Eker. And they have this program called the Millionaire Mind Intensive. I really loved it. It was great for me. I asked him, I said, look, I'm starting to become successful with what I'm doing, and I'm finding it a little bit uncomfortable. And he said, yeah, Leonie, he said, if you're ever going to want to really move into the space where you really want to be successful, there's a lot of inner work that you will need to do. And mind tricks like this really help so that you can overcome the mind that's like continuously blocking you. So Annika, I would love to know if this answers your questions. Carola shares, so if I plan my day, I try to focus on 3 things, which in the end become 6 or 7 by me putting 3 tasks in 1 task. So how can I find how much I need to work to get to my results? That is all going to be covered in Module 7 as well, Carola. So I'm not going to answer that right now. I'm going to copy your question, though, and I'm going to put it right here. So that's going to be covered next week. Okay, great. So Annika shared, that was wonderful, but not at all what I meant. Maybe it's more for the private coaching. Hard to be clear in just a few sentences. Okay, love. Well, that works too. If you want to share it in the private coaching, we can totally do that. If you feel like you'd want to explain more about it, you can do that as well. So Angelica says, I have another question about charging money from friends, close or not that close, who are asking me for sessions. I tend to feel uncomfortable to ask friends for money, but I also feel that it sometimes gets overwhelming because I only have a limited amount of energy and time to offer sessions. So I'm assuming that your question to charge for them or not. My question would be, yes. Absolutely, 100%. Yes. 2 reasons. When you charge, people show up differently. They have more skill. Your energy is sacred. So Angelica shares, and giving sessions is how I make my living right now. So how can I deal better with the situations, not wanting to talk my friends away, but also feeling more confident and comfortable asking for money from friends? Any advice on that? We went into that pretty deeply, if I'm correctly, during module 5 at the end of the session. So if you haven't watched that yet, I recommend that you have a look at that. So not wanting to talk your friends away. I had this beautiful conversation with a friend yesterday, and she was sharing with me how recently she feels so in being her truth without needing to feel guilty about how other people feel. Beautiful about that. There's tremendous power in honoring your value and in being straight with friends. Now, obviously, sometimes you're in the position, oh, okay, somebody wants my coaching, but they are only willing to pay X amount, and I really need money. So how shall I do that? Well, what you can do is you can find an amount that feels right for you, or you could make a powerful exchange with them. However, personally, I would be really careful with that, because there's this slippery slope of then going down that and then not really charging what you're worth. Situation like this with my friend. And the most powerful thing I could do was to just be really straight and to say, yeah, I get it. So you would love to get a session from me. That's beautiful. So here's how I do it, and here's how you can book it with me. Now, I do have some beautiful friendships that are also very powerful exchanges, in the sense that sometimes I feel crappy and they coach me. Sometimes they feel crappy. However, that's very different from giving your friends a session. Personally, I would highly recommend you treat them no different than you would be treating anybody else. Because that's going to allow for them to show up in a different way. Although maybe a part of them would want you to lower their prices, I think their higher selves, honestly, wants to have an exchange that feels truly right. So that would be my answer to that. Susanna asks, what time is next week's masterclass? If I'm correct, it's at the same time. And you should already have that overview in your emails. You have received that probably like 2 times already in the previous emails. So yeah, Module 7, Project Management, the Sexy Way, Tuesday, 18th of July, 4 p.m. CEST, so same time. There's something powerful that happens when there's an exchange of money. So I would highly recommend not leaving that out, unless I have in the past done some sessions in exchange for something else, and that was great. And if you are able to do that, that's great. But make sure you get the value, and make sure you get it on paper still, because people have to value what you give them. You're giving them a service by valuing it more. gorgeous women. So I saw a question pop up from Carola, how it seems. So Carola, if you asked a question before, I cannot see it any longer. So I'm wondering if you may have deleted it. Oh, there is actually this question here that I already answered. Okay, great. So I have a few other questions here that are listed out. Okay, there are two very great questions here from Janie that I have here. You see, Anna Marta also asked a question. I'm just starting my business, which means I still have to spend at least 3 to 4 days a week doing another job to make a living. This sometimes makes it feel really stressful as I feel like I work constantly, and it makes me not always be in a to deal with this. Ronja said the other day, sometimes you gotta sustain your passion until your passion can sustain you. So good on you for having chosen to have another job to make a living for yourself. Sometimes people can see that as wasting your time, but I actually think it's very powerful, and you're just taking the steps that are necessary to actually work towards your dreams. And it sounds very solid and legit. So this sometimes makes it feel really stressful as I feel like I work constantly and it makes me not always be in a creative flow. Do you have tips to deal for this? Yes, I do. And this is actually something that I'm going to copy your question, and I'm going to I'll speak to this shortly right now. And then I will also speak to this in module 7. There are multiple ways that you can deal with time. So there's this it's very tricky and very easy to get stuck in doing trap. And actually taking time to have like an overview for ourselves. Something that I'll be talking about next week. You can have different relationships with time. And one thing that would really work would be if you could set apart certain amounts of time for yourself that are truly block time, in which you are creating and you give yourself that time, and it takes space to be able to be creative. So for instance, that let's say on Fridays your day is off. So on Fridays, you from 8 in the morning until 12, that's your creative flow time. There's nothing to do, no points to check. It's just for you to get into your flow, to play, to get creative, to start creating. So you really have that time set aside for yourself. Also, Anna Marta, when you feel like you have these both things, I would make sure that you also really set time aside or set a limit to the time that you're being creative with either your... Thanks, love. I'm still busy. Can you take the dog? Yes. Thank you so much. Mwah. So, just got distracted there for a second. So, to make sure that you have time also to just do nothing. So, because now you have your job and you have your creative thing, and you might feel like, oh, you need to fill up night and day with your creative thing. But you also need time. You need that time to space. You need that time to breathe. So for me, what helps me be creative is have as little appointment as possible and to be as smart with my times as possible so that my brain can actually start generating things. So blocking off time to just have nothing to do and be creative, but also blocking off time to just not do anything. So also not need to be creative. That would be my biggest recommendation. Along with doing a review of your day, every day, because it just makes you feel like you are still moving ahead, which is especially important if you feel like you don't have much time. I think module 7 is going to be, so I hope this answers your question for now. Angelica shares, thank you, Leonie. Thank you, Barbara. Felt that, just needed to hear it from somebody else. Great. Stephanie, yes, I am aware of this question. I also had it on my list. Thank you for posting it here. Stephanie shares, you said that you worked for Ronja and other women before, and this was a way to learn a lot, I imagine. Can you share in more detail how this worked? Did you earn money for it? What exactly were your tasks? How did you find those jobs? I ask so specific because I think it would be helpful for me as well. Great question. So yeah, when I started out, I wanted to already have location independence, and I knew what direction I wanted to go in with my business, but I also knew that I wasn't quite in the space at the time yet to fully go for that. So then I thought, okay, what would be the smartest way for me to already be able to generate money while at the same time learning a lot of things? And so then I decided to really connect to other women who were already a bit further ahead and who were already clear on what they were up to. So how I did this, nobody actually hired me as like a full-time worker, but I just sold packages to them. I would say, okay, I can work for you on this project for like 10 hours and that's going to be X amount. And I did definitely, I often created myself, in the sense that when somebody is starting out with their business, and those with along who Ronja I worked with for quite some time, they sometimes just need help. So by you just listening to them and seeing what's present for them, you can say, okay, so I see that maybe there's this and this and this that you could need help with. So how did I find these women and these jobs? Well, I followed an online program in 2013, and there were a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs in there. So I connected with them and I just started asking around. But honestly, mostly by talking to people in my direct environment, people that I knew. And then there were a lot of people who said, yeah, I actually would need some help. And sometimes people didn't know they needed help, but I would offer them something that I could help them with. And they'd be like, oh yeah, that would be great. Let's just try that out and see how it goes. So I hope this answers your questions. And I would love to hear if I'm back on for you girls. Great, it seems like I am. So, Stephanie, I hope this answers your question. So what I would recommend you do is, yes, start looking around. Start talking to people for opportunities, and start really providing value for them. And there are a lot of people who need help with that. And for me, that was really the ground from which I learned so much that I eventually created my own business. Also, it allowed me to be surrounded by women that inspired me. All of the women that I worked for were super powerful and like up to awesome things. So, and I'm actually hiring. I know Ronja will be hiring people soon. So yes, just keeping your eyes open and seeing for where you can start adding value right now. Great. Thank you, Carola, for that feedback. Okay, girls. So if any of you have specific questions for me right now, I'll still be here for a little bit longer to answer them. And then we will be knocking off this session for today, which is very Great and powerful. Carola shared, do you have an example of what you offered to them? Yeah, I would offer, in the beginning, very practical stuff. There was a woman who wanted really simple blogs, so I wrote them. Then I helped with some design stuff, like making things look pretty in a PDF or creating nice things in Canva. I helped with writing emails. I helped with writing not just emails to people, like answering emails, but like really email sequences. I started learning how to work with MailChimp. So if you're going to work as, you know what I would recommend, Stephanie, there's a term for this. It's called virtual assistant. So I recommend you start looking for that. And there's a lot of free resources online that are going to give you a lot of great examples. So Carola, that counts for you as well. You'll be able to find a lot of things there. Another question that I received from Janie was, do you ever feel like running 100 miles away from your phone or laptop and feel totally overwhelmed by all the messages that are still waiting to be answered by you? Yes, but I try not to. There are simple ways to avoid getting overwhelmed. And for me, one of the things that helps is becoming completely non-negotiable about my off time. So yeah, and oftentimes we make ourselves feel really busy. But honestly, if we're really honest, are those messages the most important thing that we need to do? When I was creating the Abundant Passionpreneur with Ronja, I did not answer my email or my Facebook messages for 3 weeks. And people might say, oh my gosh, that's insane. But honestly, what's the urgent thing that's going to be shared in there? Nothing super duper important. If anybody has something super important to share, then they can call me. So oftentimes we make ourselves really busy with this seemingly urgent stuff. And that takes away from the truly important work. It's like, for instance, if you were to have, I don't know, a book from the library and it needs to be brought by tomorrow, otherwise you're going to get a €5 fine or a €15 fine even, or let's say even a €20 fine. And so then you might be like, oh shit, I got to make time to bring that book back. But honestly, if you're working on an important project, you know, it's more important to do that and then bring the book back later. So often we make ourselves busy with these small important things like answering emails, and it's okay if sometimes you don't answer somebody for a week or something. Now, something that I do think will help in the long run is if you would outsource that, which is something that can give you a lot more space to create in more peace for yourself and not need to deal with everything at the same time. Women, I am just I'm gonna wait here for 1 minute to see if any other question pops in. And otherwise, I'm gonna call this session quits And then I will see you for our next session, which will be happening next week. And here at this link, you can actually sign up for all of those masterclasses already. And you have an overview of all the dates of what is happening when. So that's very useful. And I will also share my Facebook page, because that's where I shared those vlogs. So here you go. Which I can access my Facebook now. It's 6:20, so I still have access for 10. Great. Okay, beautiful women. So with that, I'm gonna just guide us through a real quick goddess rinse. So just make yourself comfortable wherever you are right now. Close your eyes. And take a couple of nice big deep breaths. And just feel yourself and your energy as you're sitting right here after having gone through this session. Notice the sounds around you. And just imagine for a second that there would be a large pot of honey above your head, gently being poured over your body. And just imagine that honey touching your face, your neck, your shoulders, and your arms. And just take your hands and just like play with that honey a little bit. So you just like smear it out a little bit all over your body. And take some of that honey and taste it, actually. Put it in your mouth. Taste how sweet it is, and it has these hints of flowers. And feel how, as that honey is dripping down, covering your entire body now, how it's rejuvenating you. Gives you like this feeling of warm, juicy, delicious relaxation. So, and then bring your arms up along your sides, above your head. Come down, touching down on your body, tracing that honey. Touching your neck and your breasts, and your belly, and your legs. And kind of squeezing your legs also as you're going down. And breathing in once more, bringing your arms up along the side. And this time going down the midline of your body, your forehead, your nose, your lips, your throat, your heart, And then resting your hands on your body, on your chest and on your belly, or wherever you want to touch your body right now. And one more big deep breath in. And as you exhale, releasing any tension that might still have been inside the body. And once more, big breath in. And exhale. And in silence, just thank yourself for having been here today. And just envision how we're sitting here in a circle. Just glance over all the other women being here with you today. And smile at some of them while you're still holding your body. Knowing that these are your sisters on this journey. And then come back to the room. Feel the gravity pulling you into your chair or on the floor. And gently open your eyes. So that was our session for today. And I wish you all a beautiful week. Thank you, Leonie, for sharing. See you next week. May all of you have an amazing day, says Carola. Bye for now and love, says Susanna. Thank you. Very helpful session. Barbara. Bye, loves. Thanks, Leonie, for today's session. Mwah. Bye, beautiful women. If you have any other questions, feel free to share them in the Facebook group. And I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you, and love the bird sounds around you, says Natalie. Gorgeous. Okay, beautiful women. Mwah. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Bye-bye.